another edition of Influences Podcast. Today on the show, we have Marissa Joyride, that's her DJ name, and Joyride, AKA Marissa Joy, is a multifaceted artist based in Mississauga, Ontario. She began her music journey at the beginning of 2024, DJing live events around the GTA, playing a wide variety of genres: house, UK garage, jungle, and drum and bass. Joyride's love for the music, passion for dancing, and appreciation for the community and culture is what drives her to create and curate playful sets that allow the audience to let loose and groove together. Her goal this upcoming year is to continue exploring and creating a unique sound and style, including producing new original music. She is especially excited to bring some fresh energy to the jungle and D&B scene in Toronto this year. Joyride, welcome to Influences Podcast. Great to have you on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. So you've only started on your DJ journey recently, like about a year, I guess now, right? I mean, we're in January of 2025. So how did you get into DJing? Take us on that journey.
Actually, the very first party that I ever DJ'd live in front of people was my sister's birthday party. It was her 18th birthday party. We rented out a nice little restaurant, had a big get together with the family and some friends. And I said that I would DJ and host the night for her. I actually, my dad put me on some DJ lessons to prepare me for this. So I went, did like one-on-one DJ lessons at a place called Music Box in Oakville. Actually,
Cool.
really great place. I learned all of the foundations there essentially with beat matching. There was a pair of old CDJs that we were learning on. So that was the very first time that I really got to touch any real equipment, play on some real studio monitors, and that party, I actually played a lot of hip hop, dance hall, like all our throwbacks that me and my family love. So not any electronic music at all, just party music,
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
and then I discovered electronic music in 2022, I believe. So pretty new. I literally used to hate EDM before that. I was like, I don't get it. It all sounds the same. Like it's just, but I realized that you have to be there for it. My very first concert was Flume at Echo Beach in Toronto, and it was a life-changing concert for me. I was like, wow, the vibrations, the crowd, the people, the energy. I get it now.
Yeah, no, it's nothing like feeling that bass live. Like
Exactly.
I went to a Richie Hawtin show not too long ago, and I really felt it there. And yeah, that's good. That's good you had that experience. Yeah, I remember his opening track was all bassy, and he put it up even more so that you felt it in your soul, right?
Yeah.
So I hear you. So that's really impressive. I'm glad you took lessons as well, because a lot of DJs, they're self-taught and they get
Exactly.
stuck in a rut and whatnot. And I'm just wondering, how have you managed to get live paying gigs
Oh
so
wow.
early in your career? Like, I'm very impressed with this. So
Yeah.
take us through that.
Um, so when I first started spinning like EDM, I started out with a lot of house music just because it was the easiest and that was kind of what I was into at that time. Um, but I was honestly just going out a lot in early 2023, I guess. No, 2023. Last year was 2024, right? Oh
That's
my God.
right. We're in January
Yes.
now.
That is crazy. So
You're
yeah,
my
I
first
was
interview
going
of
out.
January.
I was going out quite a bit, like late 2023, early 2024, just checking out like the local scene, supporting all the smaller like local parties. And I would go out alone a lot. So I live in Mississauga, right in between Toronto and Hamilton. So as a girl, young girl partying on her own, I don't know. I felt more comfortable going to Hamilton by myself because I had a couple of venues and like people that I knew and like liked to party with there. So I played a lot of shows with Dispatch in
Okay.
Hamilton early on. I did a lot of open decks just to like sign up and practice. Um, I met Nicole and Richie from Dark Matter Productions. And they have actually, I used to go to a bunch of their shows, and I met Nicole, and she put me on one of my first club lineups. It was an all girls house techno show, and that one was really, really fun. Um, and yeah, they have put me on a bunch of house and UK garage shows last year. Um, And then I started going to jungle parties. And last year at Common Grounds, I met Mel Stokes. That one was one of the best jungle parties that I have ever been to. Actually, it's in my top three from last year.
All
Uh,
right. All right. Top
that was
three.
a really, really great party. And I met Mel Stokes there. I guess she liked my vibe. She knew me from Instagram and all that, but she invited me out for sneaky beats at Hamilton Sport Primetime Sports Bar and Grill, and that was my very first jungle set. I believe that's where we met as well.
Yeah, yeah, no, I actually have a clip of that, and kind of leads into my next question
Yes,
because I did
perfect.
discover you at that party. It was drum and bass, and like I am so happy to see that you have an eclectic range of music, right? But like this energy is just fantastic. I just want to show this clip, and maybe you can talk a little bit about it. Yeah,
uh,
that energy just spoke to me, right? And I might have been the guy who yelled out there. I'm not sure because I I really enjoyed your vibe. I was a big drum and bass fan earlier in my youth, and to see somebody your age nowadays interested in that kind of music is very refreshing to me. And I don't know if you want to talk about that clip first before I ask my question, but that's something like where do you get that energy? Like it's just great.
um, I don't know. I just love dancing. I love the rave,
Yeah.
and music just gets me going. And like being up there, you can tell when I'm up there. Um, if I'm feeling my own mix and if I'm not feeling my own mix,
Yeah.
you know, um, it just takes me, when I'm really, really in it and I'm mixing these records and it's sounding good and I'm vibing with myself, like it's not supposed to be like a performance. I don't like when everybody's facing the DJ because in the dance, you're supposed to be dancing with each other. But I don't know, when I'm up there, I'm just dancing to my own groove.
Yeah, no, it's really refreshing because yeah, and I met Mel there as well, who I'm also supposed to be interviewing later this month.
Oh,
So
nice.
it'd be really interesting to get and that'll probably be one of my questions about how she discovered you.
Oh man.
So
I love
so
Mel.
yeah, so that's really cool. And so like I said, eclectic range of music. Do you have a favorite type of music to spin at this point?
Yeah, right now it is jungle all the way, jungle and drum and bass all the way. Um, I actually played a house set last weekend, which was really nice to come back full circle to where I started. And I still love house music. I spun a little bit of UK garage as well last weekend, but there's just some jungle is on a different level for me. It's just so all the samples and the roots of it, like the dance hall influence, the hip hop, the soul, the funk, like that's real music, you know? And like like you gotta have the soul in it, you know? Um, no hate to other music. Like of course everything there's a vibe for everything. But this stuff, it just has so much soul in it that I can't get enough of it, you know? And
Okay.
there's so much freedom for mixing. There's it's just I love it. I love it too much. And I'm don't think I'm ever gonna get away from it.
So, who inspired you to listen to that kind of music? Because you're a young woman. I mean,
Yeah.
I teach people that are not too much younger than you, and they're into hip hop.
Mhm.
They're into if they are into EDM, it's the mainstream stuff like
Yeah.
Dead Mouse, right? That kind of stuff, and maybe Purple Disco Machine, you know. So I want to know who influenced you to listen to the kind of music that you do, like drum and bass, garage, house, jungle.
Honestly, I would say a lot of my inspiration came from all of the parties that I attended last year. Like I said, the Common Ground jungle party that they threw last year. I'm actually on the lineup for the next one. I'm opening up
Hey,
at Collective Arts on the 24th. But anyways, that one jungle party, the energy and the vibes in that room were so crazy. So big ups to Common Ground. Tatiana, so Jana Greenstone is her DJ name, and Pashel, they run Common Ground, and honestly, they are on it, man. I really love the community that they foster and the vibes that they put on at every event. The lineups have been great,
right.
um, and the music, the music that they play at their parties are just unmatched to any other drum and bass
Absolutely.
parties that I've been to in Toronto. Um, of course, our Toronto legends, Marcus and Lush. I got to see at Junglist Movement for the first time. I haven't seen Lush play at all last year, but I've seen a bunch of his mixtapes and videos on YouTube and all that. Their mixing is top notch as well, and I really look up to them as DJs. Um, I'm also really inspired and influenced by a lot of the old school tapes. And I know that a lot of people mention to me that they love my sets, my live sets, because it feels like a time warp. That's what Mel said to me last time I played at Sneaky Bee. She's like, damn girl, I haven't heard those songs in years. It was like a time warp listening to you. Um, and I do play a lot of old school stuff. That it is a really big influence on me, but I find it's just because I wasn't there for that.
Well,
I
that's
was,
why I asked you the question. I mean, you
you
know.
know, like I listen back to these old tapes and you hear the crowd going crazy and you hear the MCs and chatting and hyping up the crowd and like the tunes that they use. I feel like it's like a time capsule, all the records, and it holds that same energy. So why not play them out now? You know, because we rarely ever get to hear a lot of those songs played out. I mean, sometimes at certain big events, but there's so much music out there, you know? And
So
I'm just discovering it now and I've been really enjoying playing a lot of it out.
yeah, I'm
You know?
interested to know, like this question wasn't on the list, but I just interested to know when you do go out and play these parties, like the party you played last week, for instance, what kind of demographic do you get? Like an age demographic?
Um,
All
the house
sorts, or is it
party,
young?
the house party that I played last weekend, It was at a venue, and that place, it really ranges. Sometimes it's really young people that come out, like the newly legal ones, like 19-year-olds to the 20 young mid 20s. Um, but there are some people that are like up there, like I don't know. My dad comes out to my dad comes out to my parties. He finds a little group to hang out with, you know. Um,
Yeah, your dad's awesome. I got to meet him at Sneak
yeah,
Peeks. Yeah, yeah. I thought
yeah.
maybe he would be an influence as well, you know.
No, absolutely. He's one of my biggest influences. My family's really big into music, so
Yeah, that's awesome. So, judging by your bio, you seem to also be interested in producing. Is this the ultimate goal, or is this, I mean, I know your focus is DJing right now, but when are you thinking of making that shift, or is there a timeline to make that shift into producing?
yeah. Actually, I set up my first little studio session with one of my friends, Maddie. He goes by Jomari. Um, we're gonna go make a tune on Sunday. So,
Nice.
um, yeah, I kind of just want to pick up some tools from some of my friends and sit down and try to figure out a system for myself and like figure out what works for me. But DJing is the main thing. I love the live aspect of it. I love playing out for people and like making those creating those moments. Um, but producing would really help me stick out and stand out as an artist. I think it goes hand in hand for sure. Um, but definitely because the DJ scene is very saturated, I guess.
That's a great
There,
way to put it. Fantastic.
there are a lot of DJs now. And I think it's very important that we set ourselves apart from each other. You know, like back in the day, everybody brought their own sound. When there was a lineup, you know that you would hear this from one person, you know, and like people are coming to see you and listen to your sound. So producing tunes that are my own expression and that speak to me and represent me as an artist, I feel is so important to throw those into your sets and really you know, create your own sound. What do you stand for as
Absolutely.
an artist, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the ultimate, that's the pinnacle when it comes to being an electronic music artist. So you hit the nail on the head with that one. So last question. I love asking this question to all my guests. How do you feel that you are an influence on electronic music or DJ?
Yes. Well, I am still a baby.
Oh, come on, you're not barely legal.
No, no. I'm just starting out in this, and you know, last year was a really great experience for me. I'm very grateful that I've had so many opportunities to be able to play live for people, you know, and be able to spin a range of different music. And I feel like this last year I finally got my footing, you know, and gained uh a lot of confidence to, you know, do what I love to do. Um, and I would hope that I could be an example for other young people to go out and, you know, follow your dreams.
Yeah, I love that.
But honestly, for real, you can do anything that you set your mind to. You just need to be brave enough to take that first step, you know, really work on your craft, you know, come correct. Um, but yeah, there's also so much good music out there, so don't limit yourself, you know. Even me, I would limit myself a lot last year by, you know, going into a set and having it having it pre-planned, every single track, every single transition, and only go off of that. But I feel like I would put myself in a box like that. um And in the second half of the year, I really challenged myself to freestyle a lot of my sets. And I feel like I'm getting better at having that balance between having those planned moments or like those good blends that I know are solid and that I love, and being able to play for the crowd and like go off script a little bit and play around. Because when I'm freestyling like that, those sometimes it's those moments that are so magical, like blends that I haven't ever done before, but they sound so amazing and I'm just as surprised as the crowd is. But yeah, there's literally no rules. So don't limit yourself, think outside of the box, be creative. Yeah.
A fantastic answer, Marissa. I really appreciate you being on the program today.
Oh, thank
Folks, Marissa Joy, also known as Joyride. Check her out. She's on Instagram and all over the place here in the Greater Toronto area. So,
Yes.
like I said, thanks for being on the program, and I wish you well.
Thank you so much. Good things coming.
Awesome.
You have been watching and listening to Influences Podcast. Influences Podcast is written, produced, and hosted by yours truly, Jason Harrischuk. Also produced by Angela Churchill, aka Purple Sapphire. My social media consultant is Christina Laukinen, also known as My Girl Tuesday. Check out Influences Podcast on Instagram at influences_podcast. That's influences_podcast. Thanks for watching and listening.